30 years of joyfulness. Hashtag Stop Galamsey Now. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday News. The Midday News is live on Joy 99.7 FM and hits 103.9 FM here in Accra. In Kumasi, we are on Love 99.5 FM. We are also on myjoyonline.com, live in all 16 regions of Ghana via various affiliates, live on X Spaces, on YouTube and on Facebook. The Midday News is supported by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. Coming up, government goes heavy on road construction, budgeting nearly 14 billion cities for the Big Push initiative targeting 40 road projects across all 60 regions of Ghana.
From the launch of this Big Push here, the whole of Ghana is going to become a construction site. So bear with the contractors.
But where will the funding come from? We have details plus analysis as Joy News research reveals over 42% of this year's total capital expenditure is dedicated to the Big Push. Also this afternoon, scores of residents in Kumasi rushing to markets and shopping centers for last-minute purchases ahead of tomorrow's shutdown as part of activities marking the royal burial rites of the Asantehene Nana Kunedu Yadom III. We have the details as banks, insurance companies and other service providers in the city announce temporary closure tomorrow despite a circular from the Menshia Palace exempting essential services such as financial institutions, pharmacies, transport operators and utility companies from the restrictions. In sports,
Ghana's Farmers Party denies rape charges as court adjourns case to November 2026.
And residents of Accra are losing up to 2 extra hours every day to commuting. We'll tell you why and how it's affecting productivity.
By the time I wake up 4:30, I'll get to Kanda around 8:30 or 9, very late.
It does affect me, especially when I'm supposed to get to work before 7.
At workplaces, they don't listen to all those things.
And in the Central Region, the Security Council there is directing metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives in areas affected by the shutdown of the Konyako water treatment plant to use their drip equipment to find other water sources to help bring relief to residents. I am Hannah Odame. I bring you details of these headlines and more in this bulletin. Thanks for choosing us. We are Joy News, independent, fearless and credible. In our first story, Government of Ghana is projected to spend over 40% of its total capital expenditure on road construction alone, with a rollout of the Big Push initiative targeting more than 40 road projects across all 16 regions. The price tag, nearly 14 billion cedis earmarked for this year alone, with additional funding expected next year. But it's not just the size of the projects that's raising the eyebrows, it is the cost. A Joy News research analysis shows the Big Push initiative will consume over 42% of government's total capital expenditure for the year 2025. We'll get all the analysis shortly, but first, Presidential Affairs correspondent Maxwell Agbagba has a wrap from President John Mahama's sword-cutting ceremonies in the Greater Accra and Volta regions for the commencement of the program on Tuesday.
The president started from Afienya, where he broke ground for the start of construction on the Dowenya-Afienya-Dodua Road project. Residents there could not hold back their joy.
When it was first read in the budget, and then we heard there was going to be a sword cutting, you have no idea how very happy the community was. I mean, when you look, we drive on the main road is always choked. And so having different access to get to Medina, Adenta and other areas, for me, is a big relief. Also, our spare parts, we don't have to go to Abosokai all the time.
Now he come, we know that when he talk, he fulfills. So we are thankful for him that we are coming to do this work for us.
President Mahama emphasized that no project under the Big Push initiative would take more than 2 years to complete.
The Big Push projects have been allocated in such a way that no contractor will take 24 months to complete, because we haven't given any contractor too long a stretch that will take him too much time. We've broken it up into pieces so that every contractor can work quickly and then they join their portions together. So let me apologize to Ghanaians. From the launch of this big push here, the whole of Ghana is going to become a construction site. The whole of Ghana is going to become a construction site. So bear with the contractors.
The Minister for Roads and Highways, Kwame Gavin Abuja, directed contractors working under the Big Push initiative to secure insurance cover for their projects. He explained that the insurance will be used to fund repairs if shoddy work is detected.
Mr. President, we told contractors and consultants, everybody who would take part in the Big Push would have to take a very good insurance cover against your project. If you fail, we shall cash the insurance to repair the roads.
Later, the president cut sword for the redevelopment of the Timpoku Isikuma Enroasi Ho Denu Afaplau Road. The president further disclosed that beginning next year, other sectors will be brought under the Big Push initiative, including health, education, agriculture, agribusiness, and sports. To ensure effective oversight, he also announced the establishment of a Big Push secretariat at the presidency, which will directly monitor all ongoing projects.
Presidential Affairs correspondent Maxwell Agbagba brought us that story. But then what exactly is the Big Push trying to fix? And where will all that money come from? We have here a member of the Joint Research Desk, Caleb Ziblim, who has been digging the numbers and joins me in the studio. So how big is a Big Push?
Yes, Hannah. So, this project is expected to solve Ghana's annual $1.5 billion infrastructure deficit, especially on roads. And throughout the lifespan of the Big Push project, it's supposed to spend about $10 billion. So this is a big project. And about 45 road projects will be involved across all 16 regions. And this year, about 14 billion cedis has been budgeted so far. And in fact, the president said yesterday that next year, 30 billion cedis will be released in addition to the current 14 billion that's budgeted this year. So this is a very big project, Hannah.
So this year is 10 billion, next year is?
No, so this year is 14 billion cedis.
Where is all the funding going to come from?
Okay, so the entire Big Push project is expected to be funded by the government of Ghana. And we are not expecting any external funding so far. And most of it is going to come from oil reserves, our oil revenues, and our mineral royalties. So about 65% will come from the annual budget fund amount, which comes from the oil revenues, and also 25 or 35% will come from our mineral royalties. And some major roads are the Accra to Kumasi Expressway, the Accra Outer Ring Road, the Kumasi Outer Ring Road, construction of a new bridge over Oti River to Dambai, and also the Dodowa and Adenta Road. So a lot of roads, Hannah. A lot
of roads. I bet you'll be tracking where the money will be coming
from
in the roads as well. Thank you very much, Caleb Ziblim there. Well, let's get to the phone lines and speak to Charles Asel. He is an urban planner and senior lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Now, there are those who are concerned about financing. But for you, what are the technical implementation challenges that government needs to look out for if this must succeed, sir? Hello.
Hello.
Please, can you hear me? Good afternoon. You're welcome to Joy News. I was asking that a lot of people are concerned about financing, but for you, what are the technical implementation challenges that government needs to look out for?
Okay. My number one concern is how we turn highways into minor roads. If you look at Nkoko, for instance, we had a bypass. The idea was to minimize traffic. Highways are meant for high-speed travel to save time. And if we don't protect the embankment, in other words, offset for, say, 100 meters off, then potentially we'll finish this road. Settlements will emerge as close as 5-10 meters from the road. They keep crisscrossing the highway. Once a car knocks down somebody on it, because now it's settlement. If we don't integrate that and protect with at least 100 meters left, right of the highway, owned by the state in terms of that landmark, eventually settlement emerges there, and eventually it turns out to be another road. And instead of a 3-hour journey, it is turned to be 6-7 hours because it is no more serving the purpose. You don't put speed ramps or other physical constraints on a highway, because the vehicles are traveling very fast. So I want to believe that this has been factored in all their designs. Otherwise, Nkoko is a typical case study for us to see. The bypass is there, but when you get to the intersections all around the area, they're selling all manner of things to change into markets, and the risk emerges. And then the next thing, even on the highway between Nkoko and the other settlements, you still find speed ramps. Very dangerous for a highway. And I think that those are the things that. And the second one is monitoring and evaluation, such that we can get value for money, right? Because the designs are excellent, constructors have been well selected, everything well protected. But there should be a team, independent team, monitoring because of the timeline, monitoring and evaluating the project as a way of ensuring that all design specifications have been met. Otherwise, it will be done, and then within a short time, the roads will start. Once you start having all manner of potholes. But of course, the good thing is that in the president's statement, he mentioned that there's a fund that will be available for maintenance, and that is excellent. For now, that's my position.
Thank you very much. Some recommendations there by Charles Esel. He's an urban planner and senior lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Let's stay on the big push. This time, the municipal chief executive of the Ewutu Senya East Municipality, Seth Sabah Banini, has indicated a number of critical roads have already been earmarked to benefit in the Kaswa area. He spoke to journalists in Parliament on Tuesday.
Yes, the drip equipment is doing the community outreach. Within our community, there are places that we haven't tarred yet. And so those ones, we are using the drip to make it more motorable for our people. Then the potholes happens to be the ones that link the cities up that are tarred and have developed issues. Yes, I must say we will be enjoying the 10-kilometer portion of the Big Bush Cake hopefully next year. When that comes in, it means that some of the roads within the cities will be developed and tarred.
Any specific ones you are targeting already?
We have the Otta City to Peace Town stretch. We have the Tipa Junction to the same Peace Town. Then we have Ofako to Gada stretch. That particular stretch will link about 3 of our major communities together and would have saved commuters from going using about 4 or 5 kilometers to get to that point. It would bridge the gap there and then make it more trouble for us.
You heard Seth Sabah Banini. He's the municipal chief executive of the Ewutu Senya East Municipality. Let's go to the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, where sales are booming at Kejetia and other markets there. This comes ahead of the closure of markets. In honoring the legacy and solemn royal burial of the Asantehema Nana Konadu Yadom III, the Menchia Palace announced restrictions on movements in the greater Kumasi metropolis during the day and a curfew in the nights. Schools and markets have been ordered to remain closed, while essential service providers like banks, pharmacies, restaurants, and transport operators are exempted. Well, let's take you live there and speak to Emmanuel Bright Kweku. So what's the atmosphere like at Kejetia and the other markets you've been visiting?
All right, so Hannah, in fact, the Kejetia market is witnessing one of its largest crowds, I should say, in this week for a very long time. Today we are having a lot of people come to the Kejetia market to make their last shopping or the rush hour trade, if you would want to call it. And in fact, we have been interacting with a few of the traders and even the buyers themselves as they make most of today. So we can take a listen to some of them.
After today, we won't work. We'll be going to the funeral to mourn the late queen. Market is good. There are a lot of people at the market today. Hopefully by the close of today, we will get a lot of profits. Market is good. Tomorrow we'll be paying our last respects to the late queen. Some people are scared to come around. I came to the hospital and decided to pass here to buy some fish for the banku I will be preparing tomorrow.
Emmanuel is still with us on the line. So, Emmanuel, what other activities in Kumasi will be affected? And also tell us about the security arrangements.
Hannah, in fact, we are having some schools, and as you already know, the markets will be closed during the day. And also, we are having some essential services that have been exempted from this particular restrictions. We are talking about the banks, pharmaceutical stores, fuel stations, restaurants, and transport services operators. They have been exempted. Even with the banks, we are having a communique from them that even though they have been exempted from this restriction, and they have announced a temporary closure for tomorrow, and so most of them will be resuming on Friday. And also, we are also having the Electricity Company of Ghana, the Ghana Water Limited, and also fire service personnel, the Ghana Ambulance Service, and also the Ghana Health Services. They will be working tomorrow. They are exempted from this particular restriction or ban. In fact, with the curfew that is supposed to happen from tomorrow in the night, that is when we'll be having the burial happening. You know, the people of Kumasi or the Ashanti region, because of their reverence to the king and queen, and they will be hidden or complying with this restriction or ban. And so they do not really require a heavy security presence in the town to ensure that they abide with these rules. And so for them, it is a norm that they have to respect. It is a tradition they have to respect. And so from 9 p.m. tomorrow, most of the people will not be coming out because they will be giving their last respect to the Queen Mother.
Emmanuel Bright Kweku reporting live from the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi there. Now, Ghana's struggling transport system is choking lives and livelihoods. Every day, millions are stranded at bus stops, trapped in endless traffic or squeezed into overcrowded trotros. Hours that could be spent at work with family or resting are instead wasted on the road. Collins Frimpon's report read to you.
The country's broken transport system is quietly stealing hours, incomes, and even opportunities from people. Every weekday in Accra, thousands of workers wake up as early as 3 a.m., not out of choice, but out of fear. Fear of missing the commercial bus or trotro, of being trapped in traffic, and of arriving late to work. What should be a simple commute has become a daily battle against time.
Because I used to live at Agape, from Agape to Kanda, and that one there was, I think it's because of the road, so there was no vehicle coming there, and they come one. So by the time I wake up 4:30, I'll get to Kanda around 8:30 or 9, very late, and my boss will be complaining. But when I moved to Pokwasi Asalaja, when they started constructing the road, it has been the worst. So far, I've spent like 20 minutes here. Actually, I'm from Hacho. And I'm joining a Kakra, but I could notice that there's queue over there, and I cannot wait. So I had to take car from Hacho and come to Atomic here, thinking that I'll be able to go on time. But still, I come here, no car yet.
According to Oxford Global Health 2023, commuting swallows 2 extra hours from an ordinary working day. That means by the time a worker finishes a 9-to-5 job, their day has already stretched past 12 hours when you add the road struggles. And that's in Accra alone.
Sometimes the traffic too, it delays us, honestly.
Some people spend more time in traffic, more time queuing for unreliable transport, and less time resting or caring for their families. Nearly half of Accra's residents and 2/3 of workers in Kumasi cannot reach their offices within an hour using public transport. According to Down to Earth 2021, access to healthcare is no better. About a quarter of city residents don't have reliable transport to get to the hospital. In real terms, this means missed appointments, lost wages, and in some cases, lives put at risk.
Sometimes I have to leave the house like either 5 or 5:30 just to get the car on time. Yeah, it does affect me, especially when I'm supposed to get to work before 7.
You can spend like 2 hours on the way, but you're supposed to be at work on time, and it's happening like that always. And even at workplaces, they don't listen to all those things. They don't listen.
And still, Little changes. Our roads remain choked. Our transport system remains informal and chaotic, and our people remain trapped in a cycle of lost time and lost opportunity. The question is not whether Ghana's poor transport system is hurting its people. It is. The question is how much longer we are willing to let it continue draining our productivity, our health, and our very dignity. Collins Frimpong's report for Joy News.
Moving on, 1,504 lives were lost through road accidents in the first half of the year 2025 alone. Thus, the Minister of Transport, Joseph Bukari Nikpe, says must be curtailed to prevent more avoidable deaths. In line with this, the ministry has amended the Road Traffic Act 2024, Act 623, and the Road Traffic Regulations to, among others, regularize the use of motorcycles and tricycles. These changes, he says, are aimed at promoting safer roads. The minister said this when he took his turn at the accountability series a while ago.
Current efforts aim to enhance safety and efficiency are: 1. Regularization of motorcycles and tricycles for fare-paying passengers. Motorcycles and tricycles, commonly known as Okada, are vital for transportation system. However, current regulation bans their use, creating enforcement and safety challenges. To establish a robust regulatory framework, the ministry has begun processes to amend the Road Traffic Act 2004, Act 683, and the Road Traffic Regulations 2012, LI 2180. Stakeholder consultations have been completed and the proposed amendments have been approved by Cabinet to be laid in Parliament when they reassume. Members of the press, road fatalities remain a leading cause of deaths in the country, with about 1,504 lives lost in the first half of this year. These preventable deaths can be reduced through behavioral change.
Transport Minister Joseph Bukari Nikpe taking us on a short break, and when we come back, the Central Regional Security Council has directed metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives in areas affected by the shutdown of the Konyako water treatment plant to use their drip equipment to find other water sources to help bring relief to residents.
When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with Kale Charcoal toothpaste. This gives me confidence all day.
Anytime you meet Amma, don't be surprised I smile showing my beautiful white teeth because I don't have cavity thanks to Kale Charcoal toothpaste for its natural charcoal properties. In fact, we are like twins. I can't go without my Kale Charcoal toothpaste.
That be why I dey use Kale Charcoal toothpaste morning and night when I dey go bed safe. It dey make my teeth white when it dey comot every scent from my mouth inside. My confidence level they go up, so I dey show my 32 teeth all.
Introducing the Kale Charcoal toothpaste, formulated with activated bamboo charcoal powder, ensures whiter teeth and removes bad breath. The strong natural property of the activated bamboo charcoal removes bacteria, absorbs surface stains on our teeth caused by coffee, wines, and tobacco. Welcome, Kale Charcoal toothpaste. Kale Charcoal toothpaste, Sankofa Yenchi.
Kale, happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved. A message from the Ministry of Education. It's time for the computerized school placement for senior high schools and technical vocational training schools. This process will run in September 2025. Remember, securing a school placement for your child is absolutely free. Please do not pay money to anyone, whether a ministry official or a third party, for this service. If you encounter a person asking for money, report them immediately to the Ghana Police Service or the Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP. You can also reach out to the CSSPS Secretariat on this call number 0541 548 223. You can also WhatsApp 0244 908 957. Your cooperation helps us ensure a fair process for every student.
This year is going to be sweet. I don't just feel it, I know it, because the Luckiest Season 3 is back.
And I'm about to show you how to grab your golden ticket. Just dial *712# and follow the prompts to purchase your ticket. Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, hit community tickets, and pick your lucky number.
Or let the system do its magic. Choose how much you want to spend from 1 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. You can even buy a ticket for someone else. Be someone's hero. Payment? Easy. Mobile money in Ghana or card if you're international.
One ticket can turn 1 CD into 500 times more. That's maths we love. Or your community go win 10 times more. So let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Yeah, welcome back to the Midday News, and we have sports.
Thank you very much, Hannah. So Black Stars midfielder Thomas Partey has pleaded not guilty to 5 counts of rape and 1 count of sexual assault at Southwark Crown Court in London. The 32-year-old is accused of raping 2 women and sexually assaulting a third. Partey has been granted bail until his trial scheduled to begin at the same court on November 2nd, 2026. Now, away from that, Ghana's Ibrahim Fuseni did not make it through to the semi-finals of the 200 meters after finishing 6th in his heat at the World Athletics Championships.
Thank you very much for sports. There's a Joy News Get Report story because for nearly 4 years, baby Kezela has lived with pain and uncertainty from birth. Born with scoliosis and clubfoot, his dream of walking freely again is now within reach. Businessman Ibrahim Mahama has pledged to cover all medical bills and surgeries until K turns 18, a lifeline that could transform his life. This intervention follows a Joy News report a year ago. The first brought K's struggles and the burden on his young parents to light. Carlos Caloni reports.
Born nearly 4 years ago, baby K dreams of becoming a doctor, but life has been nothing but pain. Endless hospital visits have drained his young parent, stealing both their savings and the simple joy of watching their child grow like any other. But hope has finally arrived. After Joy News shared his story a year ago, philanthropist Ibrahim Mahama has stepped in to cover all medical bills, including multiple neurosurgical surgeries, giving baby K a chance at life and free mobility. Special aid to Ibrahim Mahama, Rafik Mahama, who visited Focus Orthopedic Hospital in Accra to settle the bills, shared what moved them to act.
We got a request. The request came to us. That's my boss, Mr. Ibrahim Mahama. That was a few weeks ago. So when the request came, I decided to investigate the bill. So when I started the investigation, I realized that the bill was given in 2023. And I was asking myself, why is it that the boy is going through such a difficult time and what is happening? So I decided to contact the hospital to find out why it's happening that way.
Well, Ibrahim Mahama also sponsored Susie Penaman, the SHS student who survived a tragic shooting incident which left her with severe eye injury for surgery in London. Doctors have now cleared her to resume school after a successful medical review. And in today's Climate Focus series, a third-generation commercial users of charcoal at one of Accra's biggest eateries has shared a heartwarming story of their willingness to abandon charcoal and migrate to LPG. James Aveji has the rest of the story.
The German Agency for International Cooperation, GIZ, in 2023 revealed in a research that firewood and charcoal contribute at least 39% of source of energy for cooking in Ghana. To find out more, I visit a choba here in Accra to hear their story. I meet Narama and her sister Sandra, a third-generation owners of the popular heavy-do choba.
49 years ago, we started with firewood. That's what we started with. And then we moved from firewood to charcoal. So when we moved to charcoal and then technology also came in and technology was growing, we moved from charcoal to gas.
So why did they switch back to charcoal?
We bought 2 bags of charcoal and we used it to cook. So after cooking, we realized that the cost of using the charcoal was a bit okay than the gas. So that was when we introduced the use of the gas and the charcoal at the same time. Yes.
It has emerged, however, that this is not only posing threats to the environment, but to the human health as well.
In Ghana, it is projected that unclean cooking methods claim about 17,000 lives annually.
For now, Nanama, on behalf of her sister, has pledged willingness to go back to operate fully on LPG regardless the cost, but on condition that government will revamp the cylinder recirculation model to make access more convenient.
If government should listen to our cry, why not? We would stop the use of charcoal due to the other health hazards it has on us. We'll stop using it and then we'll fall on the gas to produce our food.
And that was our climate focus series. Before we go, Adobe will bring us a brief of the trends.
Yes, amazingly, Hannah, today Galamsey is not trending, but Thomas Partey, he's been accused of several things. I don't want to. Mubarak has already gone there, so I'll just read one or two comments. Bill says, our prayers and thoughts are with him. I believe he is innocent. So most Ghanaians are, feeling for him. Yeah, as especially the case has been adjourned to next year. So.
Right, thank you very much, Adubia. And that's a wrap of the Midday News with me, Hannah Odame. You can find all stories on myjoyonline.com.